Ever felt something coming before you even knew why? Like the world held its breath and a chill caught you off guard. That's how Lucas, a 28-year-old guy with messy hair and restless green eyes, felt that night. He woke up gasping. The number, Flight 472, burning in his mind like a neon sign that wouldn't quit. In his simple São Paulo apartment, he tried to laugh off the dream, but something held him back. Ills of the Watcher, where fates are glimpsed, not told, and every step you take is seen by eyes you'll never meet. The air hums with secrets, daring you to listen. Stick around, subscribe for the journey, and in today's story, Lucas is the kind of guy who could be your neighbor. A graphic designer, true crime podcast fan, always with a mug of tea in hand. But that dream wasn't just any nightmare. It carried a weight, a premonition that stuck like an unasked for warning. He dragged himself to the window, staring at the empty street, streetlights flickering in the fog. Why did that number feel so alive? A faint noise broke the silence, like paper slipping to the floor. Lucas turned and saw the flight ticket he'd buy tomorrow on the side table, slightly crooked, as if someone had touched it. A chill ran up his spine, like something was watching him from the shadows. What did that dream want from him? And why? All of a sudden, did he feel ignoring it wasn't an option? Lucas's third-floor apartment in an old Pinheiros building smelled of cold coffee and aged paper. The thin walls let through the sound of a neighbor dragging furniture. But that morning, everything felt off. The desk lamp flickered, as if shivering, and a vase's shadow seemed larger than it should. Lucas, still in pajamas, grabbed the Flight 472 ticket, and something made him pause. For a moment, everything went silent. But was he really alone? On the living room table, an old notebook caught his eye, its cover torn, and a date scrawled. By hand, 06-15-24. It was from a year ago, but he didn't remember writing it. Inside, a scribbled phrase read, "Don't board, Lucas." Psychological tension gripped his chest. Who wrote this? He tried to recall, but his memory slipped away, like a dream fading at dawn. Outside, the city hummed along, honking horns, the smell of fresh bread from the corner bakery, people rushing for the bus. But Lucas felt a weight, like every step on the sidewalk was watched. He tucked the notebook away, but 472 wouldn't leave his mind, returning like an unasked premonition. On his phone, he opened the airline app, and there it was, Flight 472, destination Miami, tomorrow night. Why did he feel he shouldn't go? That night, the dream came back, sharper, a plane, turbulence, and the sound of metal twisting. Lucas woke with his heart in his throat, his t-shirt soaked with sweat. He rushed to the desk and found a footnote on the flight ticket with a time, 22:47. It matched the time on the blinking digital clock in the living room, like it was trying to tell him something. The unease grew. Was it just a coincidence, or a message he needed to crack? Lucas tried to distract himself, turning on the TV, but even the news felt off. A quick story about airplane maintenance flashed by, and he swore he heard Flight 472 in the reporter's voice. The unsettling atmosphere of the apartment seemed to close the walls around him. He glanced out the window and a figure darted across the street, or was it his imagination? Something or someone was out there, and Lucas felt it in his bones. He grabbed the notebook again, flipping through it with trembling fingers, and found a rough sketch. A plane with a line slashed through it. The anguish tightened. Was the mystery drawing itself right in front of him? Lucas closed the notebook, but the creak of the closet door opening on its own made him freeze. Who, or what, was trying to talk to him? And why did he feel like time was running out? Lucas couldn't ignore the hollow in his chest anymore. He needed answers. He opened the old notebook, flipping through notes that seemed to scream, 22:47, don't board. On his phone, he searched for Flight 472 and found a weird forum with anonymous posts about frequent failures on that route. He texted Ricardo, a friend who worked at the airport, asking about the flight. The reply came fast but tense. "Lucas, stop digging into this, seriously." The next morning, Lucas met Ricardo in a crowded cafe, the smell of coffee mixing with a heavy vibe. Ricardo, with deep bags under his eyes, handed over a crumpled paper with 472 scribbled on it. "I saw this in the maintenance room, and the clock showed 22:47, but it stopped," he whispered. The twist hit Lucas like a jolt. The dream's time matched, but a frozen clock. He felt the world spin, like time was mocking him. Lucas got home, Ricardo's paper burning a hole in his pocket. He opened the notebook again and found a new phrase in blue ink. "You've been warned." How did it get there when he lived alone? The psychological tension choked him, like the apartment was too small to hold him. He looked out the window, and a parked car on the street seemed too familiar. Sometimes life throws clues only the attentive catch, doesn't it? Lucas tried to distract himself with the TV, but a news report about emergency inspections on planes made him freeze. He swore he heard Flight 472 in the reporter's voice, but the screen cut to ads. The psychological claustrophobia tightened. He felt unseen eyes in every dark corner. Who was leaving these messages and why? Lucas grabbed his phone and tried calling Ricardo again, but it went to voicemail. He opened the airline app, and there it was. Flight 472, boarding. Tomorrow, 22:47. The number seemed to pulse on the screen like it knew he was watching. He put the phone down, but a creak in the hallway made him whip around. Something, or someone, was getting closer, and he wasn't sure he wanted to find out what. Ever stopped to think what separates a coincidence from a warning? Lucas sat on the couch, the notebook open, and noticed a new drawing, a plane with a crack in its fuselage. With every clue, the mystery grew, but answers felt further away. He felt a chill, like the air itself was whispering, "You're too close." "So, Lucas, what are you going to do with what you've found?" Lucas couldn't take the knot in his throat anymore. He had to face whatever was coming. Under pouring rain, he ran to the airport, the Flight 472 ticket soaked in his coat pocket. The board glowed. Flight 472, boarding at 22:47. As he neared the gate, a metallic crash echoed from the hangar, like the sound from his dream, metal twisting. He stopped, heart racing, feeling the premonition come to life. In the packed terminal, a TV blared news. Flight 472 delayed due to technical issues. Lucas felt the floor shake under him. It was exactly what the dream warned. He ran toward the boarding area but tripped over an abandoned suitcase, hitting the cold floor hard. Next to him, an envelope with his name, and inside, a photo of the plane with a red X. Before he could react, a scream cut through, followed by shattering glass. Lucas got up, legs shaky, and saw staff running in panic. A voice over the intercom boomed, "Evacuate the area now." He tried to follow, but the crowd swallowed him, and the envelope slipped from his hand. When he looked back, a figure vanished into the dark service corridor. For a moment, everything went silent, like time itself had stopped. He stumbled to a corner, the sound of rain mixing with distant sirens. The envelope lay on the floor, now with a new phrase. "You changed fate." A chill ran through him. Flight 472 was cancelled, due to an engine failure, just like in the dream. But who left that envelope? And why did he still feel watched? Lucas was taken by paramedics to a waiting room, no memory of how he passed out. He clutched the crumpled envelope, the red X seeming to pulse. The TV news confirmed Flight 472 never took off, saving hundreds of lives. But something in a nearby worker's expression felt off. What else was hidden in that warning? Ever felt like you dodged something by a hair, but don't know the cost? Lucas looked at the envelope, now with a torn scrap inside, showing a strange symbol. He was alive, but amid the rubble of a bigger mystery. The waiting room door creaked open on its own, like something was calling him. So, Lucas, where does this trail lead you now? Lucas returned to his Pinheiros apartment, his body heavy like it carried the world. The Flight 472 premonition saved him. The plane had a critical engine failure that could have killed everyone on board. But guilt gnawed at him. Why was he chosen to escape? Sitting on the couch, he held the envelope with the red X, the paper feeling hot in his hand. He wondered, if he'd boarded, who would he have left behind? On the table, the envelope revealed another clue, a phone number scrawled in faded ink. Lucas dialed with trembling fingers, and a cold voice answered, "You were warned. Now you're next." The watcher seemed to know his every move, leaving crumbs of a mystery that didn't add up. He looked out the window, the dark street outside, feeling alive, like something was watching. How often do we ignore signs that could change everything? Lucas turned on the TV to distract himself, but a news story about Flight 472 caught him off guard. "Failure detected minutes before takeoff," the reporter said, but Lucas noticed something. A worker in the footage wore a keychain with a strange symbol. It matched the one he found in the envelope, now in his hand. What would you do if you knew fate had marked you? That keychain seemed to pulse with a deeper secret. Sometimes, escaping one disaster just throws you into another, doesn't it? Lucas tucked the keychain away, but a chill hit him, like the object held a weight beyond metal. He tried to sleep, but the sound of a car parking outside made him jump. Through the window, he saw the same car he'd noticed days ago, parked, headlights off. Who was inside, and why did he feel the story wasn't over? In the comments, we want to know. Ever felt an emptiness you can't explain, like something's watching you? Lucas grabbed the keychain again, noticing a tiny inscription. Flight 813. He didn't know it, but that object was already meant for someone else, carrying the next premonition. Lucas's story ended. Or is it just the start? Drop your theories below, 'cause the watcher never stops looking, ever stopped to think about the cost of changing fate. Lucas stashed the keychain in a drawer, but the creak of the closet door made him turn. The premonition saved him from a doomed flight, but it opened a door to something bigger, something he doesn't yet understand. Until the next chapter, when the watcher reveals who gets the keychain. And you, are you ready to find out what's next? This is Tales of the Watcher, where shadows tell what eyes dare not see. Until the next story, keep watching